to Amir al-Mu'mineen. Obviously, when he means Amir al-Mu'mineen, he doesn't mean the true Amir al-Mu'mineen. He means the impostor, Yazid. وَأَشْيَاعَهُ, and the followers of Yazid. وَقَتَلَ الْكَذَّابِ ibn al-Kadhab. And Allah killed the liar, the son of a liar. Ibn Ziyad, what issue do you have with his father? Attack him, call him a liar, no problem, you'll be answered. You see, the hatred has begun right from the time of Ali. He has to swipe at Imam Ali alayhi salam. It's not enough for him to call Imam Husayn alayhi salam a liar. He says his father was also a liar. The pain began when they saw the evident truth of our first Imam. That's when it started to bother these people that like darkness. They don't like truth. They don't like the haqq. Okay, so he got his way. He said what he wanted. The people are all listening. He reaches to this level. A man stands up. A man stands up in Kufa against such a person that anyone knows. You stand up against Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad, the least that'll happen is your head will be chopped off. That's the least that'll happen. He doesn't have any musti, he doesn't mess around, he doesn't beat around the bush. He goes straight for the worst punishment that he can think of. A man stands up. This is a man, his name is Abdullah ibn Afif al-Azudi. Very interesting story. I don't know how many of us have heard of this account from the city of Kufa. Plan C, Plan C is just going to fail. He stands up, this man, Abdullah ibn Afif, and the historians mention that he was a person that his left eye lost its sight through injury on the day of Jamal. He was fighting with our first Imam in the battle of Jamal. He lost his left eye. His right eye, he lost its sight in injury on the day of Siffin, in the battle of Siffin. A loyal companion, but a person that, due to his age, he was a person that was very aged. And because of this blindness, he could not make it to Karbala. But still, he's in the fabric of Kufa. And such a scenario, he sees it's the time to stand up. He stands up against Ibn Ziyad. فَمَا زَادَ عَلَى هَذَا الْكَلَامِ شَيْئًا. The history says he could not even complete. Poor guy, plan C, tocaro adene. No, sorry. The revolution has already begun. The work of the Ahlul Bayt is already bearing fruits. How many days? We said on the 11th of Muharram, they moved towards Kufa. Probably 1 or 1.5, let's say 2 days. 13th of Muharram, they arrive in Kufa. One day, we'll say, for example, they were getting to Kufa and they found a place, whatever the difference is you want to put. This is around the 15th or 16th, 17th, 18th of Muharram. It's not later than that. I'm saying 18th with a lot of care so that somebody doesn't say, no, there was this day and that. Otherwise, it's around the 15th of Muharram over here. This is just 5 days after Ashura. After it was supposed to be the final nail in the coffin of the Ahlul Bayt. It was supposed to be all finished. There's a new uprising starting in Kufa. He stands up. He says, Yabna Ziyad. Note these words because this is the lesson we want to take today. The lesson of Plan ABC, that's the first one we want to take. And these words, Yabna Ziyad, Inna al-Kadhab, Ibn al-Kadhab, Anta wa Abuk. Ibn Ziyad is thinking to himself, till yesterday, the children of Ali alayhi salam were telling me, now the followers have already started. In brackets, the followers are supposed to be me and you. If until yesterday you say, to Imam che, to Bibi Zainab che. This is me and you, right? The bravery that these people demonstrate is supposed to be our bravery. There's nothing we can do about that. There's no answer, no justification to this. So he stands up and he says, the liar and the son of a liar are you and your father. Wow. In the court of Ibn Ziyad, 5 days or 6 days after Ashura. وَمَنِ اسْتَعْمَلَكَ وَأَبُوهُ, and the person that gave you this authority and his father. Means Ibn Ziyad, Ziyad, Ibn Abi, his father, Yazid and Muawiyah. All at once he finished in one sentence. أَتَقْتُلُونَ أَبْنَاءَ النَّبِيِّينَ, are you the one that kills the children of the prophets? وَتَتَكَلَّمُونَ بِهَذَا الْكَلَامِ عَلَى مَنَابِرِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. You kill the children of the prophet and then you speak like this. I'm adding a word in the middle. You dare to speak like this on the mimbar of the mu'minin? These are the efforts of our Imam, our fourth Imam, and Bibi Zainab salamullah alayha, and the other ladies. There's more khutbahs in Kufa that we did not get a time to cover. There's Kulthum as a khutbah, one of the other daughters of the Imam as a khutbah, and other people. This is the effects of it. Ibn Ziyad obviously is going to have his natural reaction. فَغَضِبَ Ibn Ziyad. He gets angry, furious. وَقَالْ مَنْ هَذَا الْمُتَكَلِّمُ. Who is this that has the audacity to speak like this to me? فَقَالَ أَنَا الْمُتَكَلِّمُ. Abdullah stands up and says, I am the one that's saying these words. Ya adu Allah. Oh, the enemy of Allah, I'm the one here. You want to take me? I'm here. Bravery is not limited to the Ahlul Bayt. Bravery is for the followers of the Ahlul Bayt. أتقتل الذرية الطاهرة التي قد أذهب الله عنها الرجس. Are you killing the progeny, that pure progeny that Allah in the Holy Quran has said that all impurity has been taken away from this progeny? Ibn Ziyad and a human moko maligyo jamane kya unche ukaisha kucho. He didn't even get that one chance. In fact, that one chance that he wanted to defame and degrade and humiliate the Ahlul Bayt, when they weren't there, this person is doing tabligh of the Ahlul Bayt. To the people of Kufa, he's teaching them the verse of Tathir. وَتَزْعَمُ أَنَّكَ عَلَى دِينِ الْإِسْلَامِ. Do you believe, do you really think you are a Muslim? Just look at the strength in these words. وَغَوْثَةً. And he continues the mission. A true Shia, one lesson that we take in passing over here, a true Shia aligns their mission with the mission of their Imam. Yesterday or the same day, he heard his Imam speaking in this manner, he's aligned his speech exactly with the Imam. Rather than addressing Ibn Ziyad over here, he turns to the people on the side. He says, what a state, O children of the Muhajirin and the Ansar, لا ينتقمون من طاغيته اللعين ابن اللعين على لسان رسول رب العالمين. That nobody is taking revenge from this person who's mal'oon, the son of the mal'oon, the one that Prophet has sent la'na upon. He's waking up the people around him. Here, فَازْدَادَ غَضَبُ Ibn Ziyad. Now Ibn Ziyad is really angry. In fact, it says his veins are now showing. History mentions this. حَتَّى انتفخت أوداجه. His veins are now popping out. You know when somebody is really angry? His veins are popping out. وَقَالَ عَلَيَّ بِهِ. Bring this man to me. فَتَبَادَرْتُ إِلَيْهِ الْجَلَاوَزَ. فَتَبَادَرَتْ إِلَيْهِ الْجَلَاوَزَ. The people, his army all seek to take this person, to encompass this person, encircle this person and take him towards Ibn Ziyad. If we think the mission of Kufa is slightly successful with this person, listen to the rest. Until now, what's happened? He stood up. Ibn Ziyad was destroyed by this man. He ran over him with a bulldozer, as we say. And now, Ibn Ziyad says, bring him to me. You know, he did his best. He did his effort. That's the end of him. No. His people around him stand up, protect him until they're able to leave Ibn Ziyad's palace with this man safe. 5 days after Ashura. This is the power of the Ahlul Bayt's words. It's the power of a decision that the Shia has made. They take him out. Ibn Ziyad now, he doesn't know what to do. He sends all of his army towards the house of this person. And they attack the house of this person. A war begins in Kufa. There's a full-out war that's happening in Kufa, where in the end, Ibn Ziyad's army, they attack and attack and attack. They take so much, they break into this man's house. They break the door of the house, and his daughter is inside the house. And he says, she tells the father is blind. One eye in Jamal, one eye in Siffin. She tells the father that, oh father, they've come for you. The father says, La alayk, there's no matter. Na wilini sayfi, give me my sword. Ya Khuda, this man is blind, how is he going to use his sword? This is the bravery of the followers of the Ahlul Bayt. And she gives him the sword, and he starts defending himself, and he's reciting rajas. He's reciting the poetry that I am the son of this, and I am one that will continue on this path. He continued to fight blind. This is the bravery that he had. He continued to fight and fight and fight until he's taken as a captive. He's taken to Ibn Ziyad, and Ibn Ziyad has a question for him. He tells him that, what is your view on Uthman ibn Affan? They're trying to play with their same taxes. This is plan D now. These guys are really desperate. But he tries his plan D. He says, okay, let me insult this guy. Let me show him that you are somebody that did not support Uthman. I am supporting Uthman. I am taking vengeance of Uthman. This man is a very smart man. He's a Shia. He's been trained by the Ahlul Bayt. He replies back and he says, why are you bothered about my opinion on Uthman? ولكن سلني عن أبيك وعنك وعن يزيد وأبيه. The question you should ask me is about you, O Ibn Ziyad, your father Yazid and his father Muawiyah. That's the pertinent question. Ibn Ziyad says, والله لا سألتك عن شيء أو تذوق الموت غصة بعد غصة. You've got to this level. Now know that you're going to taste death, sip after sip. You're going to be, with anger after anger, destroyed. You're going to be finished. The follower of Ali, the follower of our Imam Sajjad, the follower of our third Imam, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ama inni qad kuntu أسأل الله ربي أن يرزقني الشهادة من قبل أن تلدك أمك. Alhamdulillah. If you're asking me, I have been praying to Allah for shahada before you were even born. Just imagine how Ibn Ziyad is destroyed. And he continues and he says, وَسَأَلْتُ اللَّهِ, and I had prayed to Allah and asked Allah أن يجعل ذلك على يدي ألعن خلقه وأبغضهم إليه. And I'd asked that this shahada should be carried out. I should be martyred by the person who's the most hated in the eyes of Allah and the one who has the most la'an upon him. Now this is truly putting salt in his wounds. On one side, if he goes to kill him, he's given the clearance for everybody to know that he is the one who's the most hated. This was the dua of this old man. If he doesn't kill him, this man is creating a revolution in Kufa. Plan B also fails. Of course, over here, they martyr this man and he's taken through the streets, and some of the hadith mention that he's crucified. His body is presented in such a manner that if you stand against me, this is what will happen to you. But Ibn Ziyad, it's too late. Ibn Ziyad at this point, it's mentioned in history that he pulls out his pen and paper and he starts writing a letter to Yazid. And he says, Yazid, this is what happened in Karbala and I want to give you the news. Yazid says, send them towards me. Kufa, the summary of Kufa, before we take the lessons, we'll take the lessons in a few minutes. The summary of the history of Kufa is a failed effort to disgrace the Ahlul Bayt. In fact, it results in exactly the opposite. Kufa is alive more than it has ever been. And from this Kufa springs movement after movement after movement because of the efforts of this caravan. So Kufa is failed. And that's why the amount of days they spent in Kufa are very few. Because not only did they not achieve their goal of disgracing the Ahlul Bayt, the love of the Ahlul Bayt was increasing in the people. These people now need to be sent forward. What lessons can we take from Kufa? Two simple lessons that we want to take from Kufa. Simple to understand, profound to act upon and have as a part of our lives. Number one is the topic of confidence. Confidence is a topic that is spoken about much nowadays. And in fact, it's something that we place on a pedestal. We want our youth to be confident. See, being confident is a good thing. But let's try and have an accurate perception of what confidence means. Confidence nowadays is being promoted as an idea whereby a person who's confident is somebody who shows and presents themselves and acts like a person who does not have any doubt in what they are doing. Even if in their hearts, they really don't know what they're doing. And the classic platform for this fake confidence, let's call it fake confidence, is social media. Because when you're speaking to people, you have a heart-to-heart conversation, you can see what level of belief do they have in the thing that they're saying. How much do they really accept what they're saying? How strong are they on this opinion? You have a conversation with somebody, you say, that what do you think about this view? He'll tell you, he'll explain to you, you have a back and forth. You present your opinion, they present, there's a back and forth. But social media is all about a post. There was an issue, this is an interesting anecdote for all of us, inshallah, and something that we can learn from. There was a certain social issue that had challenged the Shia and specifically Khoja communities about 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. It was around COVID time. I won't mention the specific matter, but it's irrelevant to the point that I want to make. And people started attacking the Khoja communities for a certain flaw that they may or may not have had. Left, right, and center, people were attacking. A person that I know personally, a person that isn't a person who's ignorant, isn't a person who's unaware, opens their social media account, and they have a following as well, and starts thrashing the Khojas here, left, right, and center. When I picked up, I saw this post, somebody forwarded it to me. I saw this post, I said, Manas, Keche. What is he thinking? You know, why are you taking such a stance? After a little while, I got a chance to meet him. I said, let's meet, let's speak, because I was close to this person. I said, you know, I sat him down and we spoke a bit. I told him, what was in your mind when you said this? He said, you know what? Different people were posting. Tomane be like, who be post kai na kukai? Kukai lakhu to kare. You know, maru to kai hoyi social media ma. I said, that's the way you were posting. You know what came out? You're a person who has a following. You're a person that people look up to. This came out as your statement that you're approving this attack on the Khoja community. He says, you know, I don't know too much about it, and you know, I'm not too sure. I said, what? And this is the confidence that we want today, that we present ourselves as confidence. We are loud and we project our voices, right? You have a good posture, but inside, we're not even sure about what we're saying. They have a phrase for this. It's called fake it till you make it. I mentioned this a few days ago. I really like this phrase because it really summarizes the deviant ideologies against Islam. Islam is completely against fake it till you make it. In fact, fake it till you make it resembles a hadith that I'll mention in a minute. These people say, fake it till you make it. You don't know what you're doing, nor do I. You don't know if this is the right way to go about doing things, nor do I. You don't know your purpose in life, nor do I. None of us know what we're doing really. None of us really know what we're doing. We're all winging it. You know, I say winging it. We're trying to figure out our path as we're moving along with life. But have your chest out, speak with a projected voice, and show confidence to the people. In what? In the thing that you're not even sure about. We treat this as confidence. Somebody has good public speaking skills. We say, keo confident chokro. The public speaking skills is a good thing. But confidence is not this. Confidence is Bibi Zainab in front of Ibn Ziyad. Did she raise her voice? Did she stand with a very strong posture? Did she dress in a way that she looked like, you know, the part? Bibi Zainab was somebody who was sitting on the side very humbly in hijab, covering herself as much as she could, with a voice that was not loud necessarily, but that had confidence that would shake the heart of any wretched and evil person. That's true confidence. Confidence doesn't come from being loud and acting like you know what you're doing. Confidence comes from really knowing what you're doing. Confidence comes from me identifying. We said in bravery, right? Identifying and not being fearful of the repercussions that I may face. Over here, it means identifying and locking my target in and going right for it. That's confidence. The confident people are not necessarily the loudest. In fact, we have a saying, right? That the loudest of vessels are the ones that are the most empty. Usually you see people that act confident and loud and want to storm into places and let everyone know I'm here. You dig in deep, you'll find that they have the biggest issues with their own self-esteem. They're not even sure about what they're doing in life. Yet often these people are people that we look up to because of their loud voices, because of their pronunciation, their projection, their intonation, right? These big, big words of use. But they don't even know what they're doing. You want to see confidence? You see it in Bibi Zainab salamullah alayha. You want to see confidence in her followers? Come to see what we spoke about in Kufa today. Abdullah ibn Afif al-Azudi. A man who knew what he had to do. He had the bravery for it. And in a confident tone, when his house was attacked, he says, give me my sword. They say, you're blind. He says, give me my sword. In front of Ibn Ziyad, he tells him, Ibn Ziyad, I've been praying for Shahada before you were born. That destroys a person. Ibn Ziyad makai baki na reikyu. You know, like if he finished him off. He doesn't even have an answer for that. The hadith I want to mention is this. There's a beautiful hadith from our first Imam, Imam Ali alayhi salam. Where he says that the heart of a munafiq is behind his tongue. قلب المنافق وراء لسانه ولسان العاقل وراء قلبه. But the tongue of a person who's intellectual is behind his heart. What does this mean? It means that, look, we have a heart and we have a tongue. We have something we believe in and something we pronounce, announce, project. The munafiq speaks first and then he starts believing it. Right? There's a lighter note. They say that somebody was telling people, you know, they didn't want people to come to the mosque, let's say. They told people, you know, aaj lighthouse ma free mishka ki ape she batane. To ek manas ne ki do ito gyo. Bijo ne ki do bijo bi gyo. Trijo ne ki do trijo gyo. Marso jata ta ane bityo. Kadaj sache apta se mishka ki la hu bi jaun. Right? He made the lie up. He made the story up. But when he sees people doing it, he feels, why should I be left out? Let me also go and check. There might be, Baba, you made up the lie yourself 5 minutes ago. Right? This is the heart of a hypocrite. A hypocrite says something that they don't even believe. But after some time, they start believing it. They start really, truly trusting what they've made up. So it starts with words, and then it gets to their heart. Whereas an intellectual person believes in something and speaks according to their belief. Not more and not less. A mu'min, a believer, a person who uses the intellect is like this. This confidence will allow us to fight peer pressure in life. This confidence will allow us to be firm in our lives on the decisions that we make. This is the true confidence. The other type of confidence is when a person has a void inside them. You have an empty void inside you, and rather than trying to fill this void, you try to cover it. It's like a person who has a faulty, like let's say a leak in their house, a fault in their plumbing system, a leak, or let's say some sort of flaw in their house. Now, a leak in your house, if you have a pipe running through a part of your house that's leaking, yes, it's leaking very slowly. Maybe there's only a few drops every few hours. There's two ways you can deal with this. Either you can say, "Ato kaina thi, lau paint mari deya, koi ne nahi dekhai." Asachi vache. Be turn dios, be athwariya kadash koi ne na dekhai. But after some time, it's going to come back with a vengeance. And those of us who have been through this, you know how it is. The next time you won't just have a leak, now your wall is starting to falter. And now it's got serious. Rather than trying to solve this void that this person had, they covered it up. A smart thing, which is expensive, which is difficult, it takes hard work, is to get to the problem, solve the problem. Fake confidence, fake it till you make it, is cover the void, act like you know what you're doing, act like you know what you're saying, act like this is the right thing to do. Promote ideologies that you don't even know anything about. Promote ideas that you don't even understand the realities of. Start speaking about them. Become an advocate for this group and that group and these rights and those rights. And be loud and post on your Instagram and whatever other pages you have. Andar kho kuche. There's nothing inside. This person may sound confident, but at a certain time in their life, it'll expose itself. This void will show itself. Islam says you don't need to scream, you don't need to shout, you don't need to be loud. If you're on the path of the truth, why do you need to raise your voice? A person who's defensive raises their voice. A person who knows they're wrong raises their voice. A person who's worried about being exposed raises their voice. A person who feels that void inside them raises their voice. You don't need to raise your voice. Speak in a tone that shows you know what you're doing. Build yourself. Fill yourself from inside, and confidence will now show itself in a person. It will leak over and spill out from a person. It's no longer fake it till you make it. It's now a person is a source of radiance of confidence. You ask the sun, for example, the sun, it gives out rays. Do you ask it, oh sun, now it's 5:30, 6:30 in the morning, please let your rays come. The sun is a source of rays. The sun is burning such gases that the rays emanate from the sun. A confident person is a person who understands the realities, understands the path, understands their responsibilities, understands what they're supposed to do in life, understands the importance of it, and is not shy to do what is correct. And there's no need to raise their voice. This is true confidence. Batil, obviously, is something that just makes noise. Now in Karbala and in Kufa, we find the same confidence. Look at the tone in the Imam's speeches. Was the Imam screaming? Was the Imam shouting? Was the Imam posting on Instagram, that they're supposed to put up a message out there that, oh, I have something to say? Or was the Imam speaking heart to the people? In Kufa, they were speaking heart to the people. And when something comes from the heart, it finds itself in the listener's heart. This is the mission of Kufa. This is one. The second lesson, and we'll end with this lesson and move on to the Masa'ib, is trust in Allah. The summary of Kufa is trust in Allah. When a person, this is a mindset shift that if we haven't done yet, tonight is the night, make the decision, we have to shift our mindsets. We have to understand that we have a responsibility. Allah has placed a responsibility on our shoulders in our personal lives, in our social lives, in our community lives, in our family life. All of these different aspects, there are responsibilities upon ourselves. Examples, for example, to stand by the values of Islam. In lying, we're not allowed to lie. In deceiving and cheating people, we're not allowed to do that. In ghiba, we're not allowed to go towards that. In insulting people, we're not allowed to do that. And all of these, and the things that we must do. We must fulfill the rights of each other. We must connect with our family members, silatul rahim, all of these that we know. These are responsibilities placed upon us. Now, sometimes we feel that we have been tasked. This concept is very important to understand. The mindset shift is over here. Sometimes we feel we've been tasked with the task to complete this mission, come what may. Right? I must convince this person that they have to follow the Shia school of thought of Islam, come what may. And if I don't, I'm unsuccessful. Allah tells us this is the wrong way to look at life. So how are we supposed to look at life? Allah teaches us that it's upon us in our lives to strive, and leave the result in the hands of Allah. To strive and leave the result in the hands of Allah. I've been tasked with spreading a message. I've been tasked to tell people about our Imam. My task is to put my full effort, to put my utmost, to give it my maximum 100%. Pan ena pachi, je lokane sambaru ho, ye loka sambarse. Je lokane nathi sambaru, imara upar nathi. This is what the Prophet said. Allah in the Quran constantly reminds the prophets, your mission is to pass the message across. Elokanu je sambaru hoy, eloka sambarse. It's not on you to force people. This is the lesson of Kufa. You see them standing for a mission. You see them standing, protecting their values. They will do their best to pull the people of Kufa to the right, like the first Imam did, like the second Imam did, like the third Imam did, and like the fourth Imam is doing. But whether that happens or not goes back to the free will of the people. We have been tasked with effort, with minat, with struggle. We've not been tasked with the results. The results are through the free will of the person themselves. And what Allah sees as best. So many times I want something to happen because I think this is right for me. I want that I get this house. I want that I get this result in my exams. I want that I get this car. I want that I get this job. I want that I get this respect. Look, we're tasked with responsibility. You try your best. Are you supposed to have this house? Is it honorable, respectful, in your level in society? Go for it. If it happens, thank Allah. If it doesn't happen, thank Allah. This mentality brings about a people that are undefeatable. And this stems from the verses of the Holy Quran. Surah Tawbah, ayah number 50. Listen to this and we'll move towards a conclusion. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. It's talking about the army of the Muslims and the munafiqeen, the people that want to cause issues within the Muslims. In tusibka hasanatun tasu'hum. When you guys are victorious, the mu'mineen are victorious, they win, these people, the munafiqeen, it hurts them. وإن تصبك مصيبة يقولوا قد أخذنا أمرنا من قبل ويتولوا وهم فرحون. If the mu'mineen suffer some loss or defeat, these people say, look, we distanced ourselves, we made our decision earlier, and they're happy that, look, they enjoy it in their hearts. Any army of believers, any good people would be really hurt by this. But you have people that just want to hurt you. And those of us who've worked in Jamaat work, in the Jamaat, in the federations, whatever, this is a key message for us. That there will be people that want to just hurt you, that are out there just to attack you. And this disheartens us. But look at the mu'mineen, how they're supposed to be. قُلْ لَن يُصِيبَنَا إِلَّا مَا كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَنَا. Whatever befalls us, whether it be victory or loss, is from Allah. هُوَ مَوْلَانَا. He's the one that's the master of our affairs. He plans. I don't want victory, I don't want loss. I'll do my part, I'll do my responsibility. Allah will ordain what He wants to. وَعَلَى اللَّهِ فَلْيَتَوَكَّلِ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. And if you really had faith, then you should be amongst those that trust in Allah. Lay your trust in Allah's hands. We're supposed to strive, we'll strive. Allah will make the result happen the way that He wants it to happen. And this is the verse that's the crux of this theory. قُلْ. Now the mu'mineen are saying, look, let me teach you this theory. And this theory is for me and you. If our lives run by this theory, we'll live different lives. قُلْ هَلْ تَرَبَّصُونَ بِنَا إِلَّا إِحْدَى الْحُسْنَيَيْنِ. What you expect with regards to us is only one of two good outcomes. There's no third option. What you want for us, what you're watching, you munafiqeen, you people who are against us, what you want for us is only one of two good outcomes. There's no bad outcome in this. What are these? One is that the mu'mineen are victorious, alhamdulillah, they're victorious. Or they're not victorious and they attain shahada in the way of Allah. We love shahada in the way of Allah. So, in essence, we're invincible, we're undefeatable. You cannot take away our morale. You cannot cause us to feel like we've messed up and we've not managed. Whatever you do to us, we have Allah. If you kill me, I have Allah. If I live, I have Allah. But now let's flip the scenario. وَنَحْنُ نَتَرَبَّصُ بِكُمْ أَن يُصِيبَكُمُ اللَّهُ بِعَذَابٍ مِّنْ عِنْدِهِ أَوْ بِأَيْدِينَا. But for you, the only two outcomes you have is that either we will punish you, means we'll kill you, or Allah will punish you. If you don't get killed now, you're going to die one day. You'll face the consequences of what you have. One side, it's a win-win situation. One side, it's a lose-lose situation. Who doesn't want to live a life with a win-win situation? Who doesn't want to live a life where whatever the outcome is, I'm happy? Because whatever you take from a mu'min, and you can take lots from a mu'min, You cannot take Allah from a mu'min. And the cause of happiness, peace, tranquility in a mu'min is Allah. Now we have a formula that you cannot take this source of tranquility ever from me. Do what you want. Give it your best shot. Isn't this the most beautiful style of living? This is the lesson we take from Karbala, echoed in Kufa, to the followers in Kufa, and to display itself in our lives, inshallah. Let's take our hearts to Kufa and onwards towards Sham. I'll just recite one of the historical narrations as the caravan is approaching Sham. Sallallahu alayka ya Aba Abdillah. Sallallahu alayka ya Aba Abdillah. Sallallahu alayka ya Aba Abdillah. The caravan of Imam Husayn spent some days in Kufa. The people of Kufa knew the Ahlul Bayt. They knew their rank. They knew Imam Sajjad. They knew Zainab. They knew the daughters of the Prophet. Yet the people of Kufa came into the streets and watched these beautiful individuals enter Kufa. They still gathered in the court of Ibn Ziyad to listen to what he says. But, O believers, this caravan is now moving towards Sham. Sham, a city that has heard so much against our first Imam, so much against our second Imam, the third Imam, and our fourth Imam. What do you expect to happen in Sham? How do you expect them to be treated in Sham? How do you expect these beautiful individuals to enter Sham? Near the entrance of Sham, it's narrated that Kulthum, she comes forward to Shimr. Imagine who she had to speak to for this request. She tells him, O Shimr, I have a request from you. Imagine the state. This is the daughter of Ali. She has to come to Shimr to request this. He says, what do you have as a request? She says, إذا دخلت بنا البلد فاحملنا في درب قليل النظارة. O Shimr, you're taking us to Sham, but make us enter through a door that people are not watching us. وتقدم إليهم أن يخرجوا هذه الرؤوس من بين المحامل. O Shimr, you see these heads upon these spears in between the ladies and the children. O Shimr, take these heads towards the front of the caravan. Why, O Kulthum? فقد خزينا من كثرة النظر إلينا ونحن في هذه الحال. We have been stared at too much. We've been looked at with these eyes of these impure people too much. Move the heads to the front of the caravan so that people look at the heads and they don't look at us. But Shimr, out of his wretchedness, he ordered for the exact opposite. He said that we'll take them through a door where the people will gather. will place the heads just as they are in the middle of these ladies and children, so that the people stare at these ladies and children in this state. These are the daughters of Ali. These are the sisters of Husayn. Is this the treatment that they deserve? Ala la'natullahi ala al-qawmi al-zalimin. Matama Husayn.
دربار کے غیرت سجاد کا ہے یہ کیسا امتحان، سامنے دربار کے غیرت سجاد کا ہے یہ کیسا امتحان، تین دن گزرے کھری ہے، تین دن گزرے کھڑی ہے فاطمہ کی بیٹیاں، سامنے دربار کے غیرت سجاد کا ہے یہ کیسا امتحان، سامنے دربار کے غیرت سجاد کا ہے یہ کیسا امتحان، شام والے ہنس رہے ہیں بے کسوں کو دیکھ کے، ہے چراغ چار سور سج رہے بامدے، باب سات پر رکا ہے، باب سات پر رکا ہے بے کسوں کا کارواں، سامنے دربار کے غیرت سجاد کا ہے کیسا امتحان، سامنے دربار کے غیرت سجاد کا ہے کیسا امتحان، خون روتا ہے جو عابد اس کو یہ احساس ہے، فاطمہ کی چادر شامیوں کے پاس ہے، دیکھ کر کہتی ہے زینب، دیکھ کر کہتی ہے زینب میرے غازی ہو کہاں، سامنے دربار کے غیرت سجاد کا ہے یہ کیسا امتحان، سامنے دربار کے غیرت سجاد کا ہے یہ کیسا امتحان، سر علی اکبر کا نیزے پر اٹھاتے ہیں شقی، سن چکی سانے بے ندا بنت علی، رو رہی ہے ہر عزا، رو رہی ہے سن کر علی اکبر کی ماں، سامنے دربار کے غیرت سجاد کا ہے یہ کیسا امتحان، سامنے دربار کے غیرت سجاد کا ہے یہ کیسا امتحان. مثل سہارا سر جھکائے شامیوں میں آ گئی. 4 برسوں میں سکینہ پر ضعیفی چھا گئی. کان بھی زخمی ہے گالو، کان بھی زخمی ہے گالو، پر تماچوں کے نشان سامنے دربار کے. غیرت سجاد کا ہے یہ کیسا امتحان سامنے دربار کے. غیرت سجاد کا ہے یہ کیسا امتحان. خون کے آنسو ٹپکتے ہیں سر شبیر سے. پوچھتی ہے جب سکینہ زینب دلگیر سے. اب پھوپھی اماں یہاں سے، اب پھوپھی اماں یہاں سے، کب چلے گا کارواں سامنے دربار کے. غیرت سجاد کا ہے یہ کیسا امتحان سامنے دربار کے. غیرت سجاد کا ہے یہ کیسا امتحان. سب سے مشکل مرحلہ سجاد پہ یاور یہ تھا. شام کے دربار میں جب قافلہ جانے لگا، پڑھتی تھی نعتِ علی اس، پڑھتی تھی نعتِ علی اس وقت ساری بیبیاں سامنے دربار کے. غیرت سجاد کا ہے یہ کیسا امتحان سامنے دربار کے. غیرت سجاد کا ہے یہ کیسا امتحان. 3 دن گزرے کھڑی ہے، 3 دن گزرے کھڑی ہے فاطمہ کی بیٹیاں سامنے دربار کے. غیرت سجاد کا ہے یہ کیسا امتحان سامنے دربار کے. غیرت سجاد کا ہے یہ کیسا امتحان. رحم اللہ من قرأ الفاتحہ.
توجہ زیارت. السلام علیکہ یا رسول اللہ، السلام علیکہ یا امیر المؤمنین، السلام علیکہ یا فاطمة الزہراء سیدتی النساء العالمین، السلام علیکہ یا حسن المجتبی، السلام علی الحسین وعلی علی ابن الحسین وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا غريب الغرباء سلطان الحسن علي بن موسى الرضا، كن شفيعنا وشفيع والدينا في يوم الجزاء ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا حجة الله يا ابن الحسن يا صاحب الزمان، السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن، السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن، السلام عليك يا قابة الإيمان، السلام عليك يا إمام الإنس والجان ورحمة الله وبركاته.